Hello everybody, you are listening to Blah Blah Show, and today we have a lot of interviews about Colombia. So, hi Gabriela, how are you?
Hi, I want to talk about some places that you can visit in my city, like Monserrate. That is a mountain that dominates the city center of Bogota, the capital city of Colombia. It rises to 3,152 meters above the sea level, where there is a church built in the 17th century. The hill is an awesome destination, as well as a tourist attraction. In addition to the church, you can go to restaurants, cafeterias, souvenir shops, and many smaller tourist facilities. Monserrate can be accessed by aerial tramway or funicular or by climbing, so you can see all the city there. It's awesome, you can go now.
That's so interesting, Gabriela. Now, Alejandra, how are you? Which place do you like the most in Bogota?
Hi, fine, thank you for asking. Bogota has many beautiful tourist sites that make us fall in love of the city. For example, Bogota has my favorite place, the Simon Bolivar Metropolitan Park. That was built on land that was part of the El Salitre state. That belonged to Jose Joaquin Vargas, who after his death in 1936, as a legacy, donated to various charities. The construction of Simón Bolívar Park started in 1966. In 1968, the city of Bogota built a temple to commemorate the 39th International Eucharistic Congress, to which the Pope Paul VI was part of. This temple was named Eucharistic Temple. At the time, the lake already existed as a natural feature. In 1986, a second temple was built for the reception of the Pope John Paul II. The park was officially named under the Law 31 of 1979 in commemoration of the bicentennial of the birth of Latin American leader Simón Bolívar. The Colombian architect Arturo Robledo Campo designed in 1982 the new details of the new improvement to the park, which at the time was far from an actual recreational space. In 1983, the Events Plaza was finally built. 1,300 trees were planted and a pedestrian bridge that linked the park with the Children's Museum was inaugurated. This park has an events plaza with capacity for over 80,000 spectators, where the present events like the Summer Festival, Rock Park, and the Ibero-American Theater Festival are held.
Wow, I want to go. And Maria Paula, do you like the architecture there in Bogota?
I love the architecture of Bogota, but one of the most beautiful architecture that is in Bogota is placed in La Candelaria, which is an historic neighborhood in downtown. It is the equivalent to the old city in other cities. The architecture of the old houses, churches, and buildings has Spanish colonial, Baroque, and Art Deco styles. It contains a lot of houses, several universities, libraries, and museums. There is a lot of places you can go to enjoy La Candelaria, like the Botero Museum, located on the 11th Street. It contains works by the painter-sculptor Fernando Botero, as well as works by artists including Monet and Picasso from Botero's private collection. Other amazing place is the Luis Ángel Arango Library. It's the most important library of Colombia and of course from Bogota. Is property of the Republic Bank, has more than 1.1 million books, and is the most visited public library in Latin America. Has facilities of parking, cafeteria, museums, concert hall, and exposition areas. It's an amazing place.
Yeah, Maria Paula, the Gold Museum is also there. is a famous museum located in Bogota. It is one of the most visited touristic highlights of Colombia. The museum receives around 500,000 tourists per year. The museum displays a selection of pre-Columbian gold and other metals. In 1934, the Bank of the Republic began helping to protect the archaeological patrimony of Colombia. The object known as Poporo Quimbaya was the first one in a collection. The museum now has a big pieces of collection. There are bilingual descriptions of almost all exhibits. On the first floor, you can go to the shop and a restaurant. The Gold Museum restaurant and cafe is also there. At the end of the exposition, there is a profundization room with artistic videos about the most important gold pieces of the museum. You can go, it's awesome.
In my opinion, one of my favorite places to go and visit is in the heart of La Candelaria. You will find a small plaza called El Chorro de Quevedo. It is surrounded by cafes and bars. It has a fountain in the middle and a small church on one side. It is assumed that the city of Bogota was actually found here and not around the Plaza of Bolívar. The Plazoleta del Chorro de Quevedo is a space that receives students, academics, and musicians. They come to have a coffee, or a beer, or a canelazo, or admire the creation of some of Bogota artisans. Among the most traditional places are Café Color Café, La Pequeña, Santa Fe Café, and El Gato Gris restaurant. It's very beautiful and you have to go, seriously.
Thank you for coming here and for talking about your lovely city. And stay tuned because our next guest is Leonardo DiCaprio.